guys, and welcome back to Fashion Attack. Today we're gonna do kind of a different episode because we're gonna try to make art out of this surfboard. A little story about me. I bought this like 5 years ago when I moved to Israel. I was completely sure I was gonna become an awesome surfer.
Of course.
Thing that didn't happen. I saw this on Facebook Marketplace for like $20 and I thought it looked awesome, so I just needed to get it. But I ended up breaking the fins and never. There's a plane. We're gonna make it look awesome. We're gonna make this boho geometric print all over it, and it's gonna look basically insane so that we can hang it around our apartment. Before even starting, let's take a sec to look at the current situation of our board. It's covered in wax and it has been damaged in several areas. There's a lot of reparations on it, so it's not smooth. So this is basically the state of any surfboard that has been used. And this is a trick to make it look new again. First step of all is taking out a credit card or a bath subscription or anything in plastic if you do not have the official wax remover thingy that I'm using over here. And then you just go ahead with your hands and go all over your board till the wax starts popping all off from your board. It's gonna take you a while. You just need to put your favorite playlist on your ears and go over and over it for like 10-20 minutes, depends on the conditions. You see now that it's full of wax on our little plastic board. You take it off several times and do it again. Great, we are done with the first step, and now it's time to take out your sanding paper and we're gonna do it all over again. The sanding paper is a fundamental step to make your board smooth again, because in case it had damages and it had reparations over it, or it's just because of the wax or whatever it is, we need to pass this over so to make it as smooth as possible, so that it's gonna be like a white canvas where we can go make our painting. Last super important step is to put acetone or turpentine over your board. You just pour it on a little napkin or something and go all over your board. It's gonna turn your board back to new. It's absolute magic. It's just, you go over it, it's super quick, it's gonna make it shiny and smooth and new all over again. Once that we are done with the boring cleaning section of this DIY, let's pass to the material to make your painting. You need spray paint, a pencil, a precision knife, and some paper tape. The spray paint, you can use the colors that you like. I wanted it to look like a base of wood, so I bought brown and painted all the coating of the top, waited for it to dry, the bottom, all over the board. Now we let it dry till it's completely 100% dry, and we're gonna have to go ahead with the paper tape and make the lines that are gonna guide us to the painting. In the drawing, there's nothing mandatory because it's all up to your creativity, but what I wanted it to look like was like pieces of wood that cross in the middle. So I just made diagonal lines that start from the center of the board and made these two V's. When the two tapes cross each other, they are not gonna make a super sharp edge, so that's why I took out my precision knife and went out and cut the little triangular out and made the line straight and perfect. It's super important because that's how your paint is gonna stick. You spray it on top, and just according to how you place your tape, that's how the drawing is gonna come out. That's a go over and over with the tape in the same triangular shape, cut out the edges and go on and on with the same triangular shapes. You're gonna have to do the drawing all over to the top of the board, but I thought it was starting to become a bit boring and too repetitive. So what I did was then add some lines that did not go all the way to the end of the board. I instead cut them way before the edge, and that made some extra V's and extra effect or layering on top of the board. I thought it made it look way more interesting. You go all the way to the top. I did again a little cut on the top, and that's what you do all over the board. Then we go and spray with the white. This is very not an ad. I just recommend you to use this specific spray paint. It's so much cleaner and it smells good. Now, after that you have been chilling on your phone for something like 2 hours and your board is completely dry, we're gonna go ahead and do the layer number 3. Guys, while you put the tape, always keep in mind that the placing of the tape is the opposite of what you see. So basically, what you're taping is what you do not want to color. It's only the remaining part of the board that is going to be colored in the color that you want. So in this case, we have the brown that I covered, and then I covered the white, and now what is going to be left is the little areas that I want to cover in black. So again, keep it in mind, because if you're gonna get distracted, you're gonna do the opposite way around. Go ahead with your third color. I used black and splashed it just in the remaining little areas that were meant to be black. One day later, and finally it's completely dry. We're now to the most satisfying moment ever, where we're gonna take off the tape and the print is just gonna pop out. Oh, I'm so excited! Whoa, the white, so good. Whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Are you ready for this? Whoa! It came so good. It's so freaking cool. Look at this sharp edge. I'm so excited, and I just can't hide it. Oh, this is coming out so awesome. I'm literally shocked about this sharp edge coming out so clean. We're gonna take off the tape as delicate as possible, but some little accidents are gonna happen. I mean, something like this one over here. But don't worry, we're gonna take care about it later. Voila! The board is basically done and it looks already awesome as it is, but it can happen, and I put a can happen is a lie, it will happen, that sometimes the tape doesn't rip perfectly. I do not know where I put my brush, so I'm gonna use this to fix this little issue. It's gonna be super easy. Spray on a plastic plate with the color that you want to apply on the board, and then you go ahead with your brush and fill in the areas that you need to cover up. Even if a line is not perfectly straight, you can just go and fill up with the black, the white, or the brown in the colors, in the areas where the color didn't come out perfectly. We could basically call the board done, and it looks incredible. I literally can't wait to hang it. But if you are a little psychopath as me and want to make it even more, look even more authentic, because usually this kind of prints are done with wood, and I wanted the brown to look like wood. So I'm gonna use a pencil. Exactly. We're gonna draw the veins of the wood on the board, and at the end it's just gonna look amazing. There we go. Last little step before revealing the board, I went in with a black pencil all over every single corner where the two lines and two colors were matching together. I did not want it to be like a sharp black line. I just wanted it to look like a little shadow of the two woods matching each other. So I colored with a pencil and then blurred it away with my fingers. Colored with a pencil and blurred it away. Did all little kind of veins around it. Again, it's like two little pieces of wood that meet. So even when the two same colors, so brown and brown, was meeting in the middle of the triangular, I drew a line separating it. On black you couldn't see it, but on the white and you can definitely see the dividing line with the pencil, adding an extra value to your drawing. So guys, the board is done. It looks so pretty. I think it's super aesthetical. I know it would have been even more awesome if we actually did it with wood. Maybe we can try to do a sliding door with wood next time. But for the moment, let's go and see the result. Don't forget to subscribe. Leave me a comment down below with what you would have done differently. And like always, see you next time.